for those here, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Jeremy Capone. I am the wellness chef for cancer rehab and survivorship, and I'm joined by the amazing Daniela Fiorini, registered dietitian.
Hello. I love how it's always amazing. Love that. Yes, Daniela Fiorini, registered dietitian. Welcome to everybody here and at home. And today we're actually with the summer solstice 1 day away or 2 days away?
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow? Okay.
I believe it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We thought it was the perfect time to delve into grilling techniques, safe grilling techniques that reduce cancer risk and also boost our enjoyment of barbecue season, right? So understanding how to grill safely can help reduce exposure to cancer-causing compounds. And these compounds that I'm talking about are called, they have really long names. So there's the heterocyclic amines, HCAs for short, and polycyclic aromatic carbons, hydrocarbons, PAHSs. Yeah, I know, that's so hard to say. And they are formed mostly with grilling meat, fish, and poultry over an open flame or on high heat. But there's good news because there are ways to make simple adjustments to how you prepare the food, whether with a marinade or pre-cooking. There's a number of methods that Jeremy's going to talk about that can reduce the exposure to these compounds, or reduce the formation of these compounds. And this will mean that you can enjoy your favorite foods without compromising your health. Another way to reduce exposure to cancer-causing substances is that grill vegetables, grill fruits, grill plant proteins. And that's another way to up your intake of fruits and vegetables and plant proteins, also reduce your intake of these cancer-causing compounds. But that's enough of that. I think we want to go ahead with our recipes that Jeremy has lovingly created. He always enters this creative vortex. You can't disturb him when he's in that vortex, and he creates these amazing recipes each time. So our first recipe is a grilled tofu and mushroom tacos with cilantro chimichurri. And this is a delicious dish. It's an excellent addition to any summer solstice celebration. Why did I do that with all the S's? We are grilling plant proteins, vegetable tofu, and vegetables, mushrooms, portobello mushrooms, I believe. So we don't need to worry about those harmful cancer-causing compounds. It's also bursting with flavor from the cilantro chimichurri. Show us how it's done, Jeremy.
Okay. So, with this one, I think we wanted to go with something more plant-based for the grill. Mm-hmm. You have options. When we're thinking of like some of the more savory, more meaty options, like texturally, mushrooms for sure comes to mind. Tofu can have a role there too. I know some people are on the fence with tofu. I think it works really well in place of meat for something like this, mm-hmm. especially for something like this, because it's in a taco. You have other flavors, you have other textures, other dressings, paired with the mushrooms, I think mm-hmm. texturally they work really well together. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk a little bit about grilling as well, cooking outside, cooking outdoors, food safety, really important. But mm-hmm. I think even especially in the summer, right?
Yes.
So the first thing that we're going to do is preheat our grill. Now, we're in the basement. For those at home, if they don't know, we are not allowed to have a barbecue down here. So fire safety is, the fire warden has mentioned that numerous times. So we are using a grill. Indoor grill you can use as well, just a cast iron grill. You can even do this in just a pan if you don't have a grill. But we're going to preheat it to about medium heat. And then with our mushrooms and our tofu, we're going to dress them. Now the tofu itself, mm-hmm. because we're adding it to a grill, I don't want it to fall apart. So the firmer the tofu you can get, the better. Extra firm is probably going to be where you're going to see it labeled as your firmest, but depending on the brand, some tend to hold a little bit more water than others. So if there's one you're familiar with, use one that has a little bit less water because it will hold up a little better. You can even find they have these like smoked tofu cubes, which have a little bit more flavor and a little bit firmer as well. But just try to get a very firm tofu for this. Okay, slice it up about the same size, so about 1/2 inch-ish. Those are mushrooms, and we're going to go with more of like a dry sort of rub. So I have a little bit of garlic powder and some smoked paprika.
My favorite, smoked paprika.
Smoked paprika. If you've never used it before, has anyone used it before? Here. Yeah, somebody. Okay, so you know.
Oh, they all know.
We're pros. If you're watching at home, let us know if you use smoked paprika. It has that really nice sort of smokiness that it can lend to your dishes. So even that's what you would get from maybe grilling. If you're grilling meats or barbecue, your traditional barbecue. But if you're not, that's a nice way to sort of replicate that sort of flavor, right? So smoked paprika, a little bit of garlic powder. You can add pretty much whatever you want to this. We'll add a little bit of salt, a little pinch of salt.
And I know we've talked about like grilling outside, but a lot of us do live in condos or apartments, so this is also good to know that you can get that flavor from doing it on the grill and then just going out on your balcony and pretending that you're at a barbecue.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And like I mentioned, they have these really nice sort of grill pans that you can use. But even a regular saute pan, you can bake this in the oven. You can put it into the broiler in the oven. All right, so season it up. We're going to put a little bit of a toss, a little bit of olive oil, just so we get this sort of like crust from those dried spices, adhering to the tofu, adhering to the mushrooms.
You know where I'm going.
Yeah, okay, so for those who don't know, Daniela
loves the remote.
Loves the remote here.
And I'm thinking, is this a close-up moment?
Yeah, let's do it.
Number 2, right?
Yes. So.
Oh, well, you just moved it. Okay. Number 3.
Number 3. There we go. So we're gonna add our mushrooms and our tofu to the grill. We can hear a sizzle, but I'm gonna be picky. It's not preheating fast enough, so I'm gonna change burners.
Oh, that's what you're gonna do.
So this is more for the view because I wanted you all to see it.
We can still see
But
it.
as long as you can see it up there.
Kind of hiding behind the herbs, though, a little bit.
All right.
There we go.
Okay, so we want about a couple minutes per side with that, just to get some color and to heat them through. With the tofu, this type is pretty firm, so I'm not too worried about getting a lot of water at this point. But the mushrooms do contain a lot of water. It's mostly all water. So I want to reduce that a little bit. That will concentrate the flavor. So even like 3 minutes, 2-3 minutes per side, depending on your grill, just to get some nice color. The second part of the recipe is our chimichurri. Now, yes, it's a cilantro chimichurri, which may also be a little divisive in the room. Who likes cilantro here? Oh, wow, okay. So almost everyone. Almost everyone. You can use parsley, you can use mint, you can use basil. There are other types of herbs, so definitely use your favorite. Roughly chopped, or if you prefer, you can do this in like a little blender or like a food processor as well. I like it done by hand, so a little more rustic. So roughly chop your herbs. I have some cilantro and some parsley in here. To this is a little bit different probably from the classic chimichurri, but I love...
Oh, sizzle.
Yeah, we got sizzle. We have sizzle. I love capers in this dressing because it's going to add a nice little bit of brininess to the chimichurri. And so you can get these at pretty much every grocery store. You can find capers now in a little glass jar. If you can use olives, you can use even like a little rough chopped basic pickles if you prefer that. But just that little vinegary, briny bite works really, really well.
So I'm sorry, I missed it. We have the parsley in there, capers.
Cilantro as well.
Oh, and cilantro. I forgot. We had our cilantro debate. How did I miss that?
Yes.
I'm good with cilantro.
All right.
Are you good with
capers?
Do you like cilantro, Nabil?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Okay. We're divided.
Yeah.
Our audience is divided.
Yeah. I figured we might be on the fence here, but okay. Herbs, capers, vinegar. You can use any acids. You can use lemon juice. You can use rice wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar. This is white wine vinegar. These chimichurri, the chimichurri that I'm making is going to be a little bit more on the acidic side. If you're not a big fan of the acid, then you can definitely tone that back a bit as well. You're really just making a dressing to your liking. And then olive oil. Actually, wait, before the olive oil, these are staring me down. We need our garlic. Does anyone know what this is called? I know one of you knows. Anyone? Microplane or a rasp, yes. So, great tool, makes it really, really easy. Now again, if I was just making this in a food processor, I could just chuck the whole clove in as is. But with the microplane, it's like a little mini grater. Makes really easy work of mincing our fresh garlic. And it just, even like these 2 cloves, it's gonna add just so much character.
How many of you know about the we don't have to worry about it with the chimichurri, but how many of you know about the 10-minute rule with garlic? Chopping garlic. Yeah?
And exposed to oxygen.
Beautiful, yes. So letting it sit for 10 minutes after you chop or cut it, very good, Nabil. By exposing it to the oxygen, the enzyme within develops an antioxidant, and then that antioxidant called allicin is not destroyed by heat if you were going to put the garlic in the heat, but we're not doing that today.
Is it the same with onions?
Yes, it's the same with any food in the allium family. So shallots,
Leeks. All right, so lots of garlic and then olive oil next. And we want this to be a little loose. So we want it to be like a dressing. So it might look like a lot of olive oil, but this is a dressing that you can use on many different types of things. It's really good with the grilled vegetables and meats because of that nice brightness that it brings to your dish. But you can add this to like a salad dressing. You can even put this over some cooked grains, like some cooked rice or couscous, and it'll keep a few days in the fridge. Gluten-free option. All right, so I'm happy with that.
For those who joined late, what we're grilling right now are portobello mushrooms and tofu.
Okay, so that is a really good consistency. So almost like a roughly chopped pesto kind of, but definitely a little bit more on the acidic side. A little pinch of salt and pepper, so you can season this. Now the capers will already be a little bit salty, so I don't need to add too much.
Has a beautiful fresh smell, aroma. Can you smell it there?
Yeah.
Oh, already? Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that's exactly what we're looking for with the chimichurri. Set that aside, and our tofu and mushrooms are done. So to plate, and again, we're gonna do it like a taco. And you can even do this as just like a side dish. Just toss all the tofu and the mushrooms together.
The side dish or even a salad. I suppose you could put the tofu and mushrooms on a salad as well.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Those are teeny tiny. Where'd
These are
you find
minis.
those? Teeny tiny tacos.
Yeah. These are perfect little size. Or something like this. Okay. So grill, so you can see here the color.
Yeah.
I was waiting, director.
I know. My goodness. Beautiful.
So I just want a little bit of color on there. And what's nice is because we're grilling plant-based ingredients, we can push it a little bit more with the color, right?
Yeah, we don't have to worry too much about the charring on our plant proteins or vegetables. It's not going to create those cancer-causing compounds, the heterocyclic amines or the polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons.
Well done.
I'll forget after today. I'll just remember them as HCAs and PHs.
Slice this one.
Now they look like little chicken fingers.
Yeah.
No, not chicken fingers. French fries,
Little
actually.
French fries. So that is going to have that really nice sort of smokiness.
I can smell the smokiness already.
Yeah, a little bit of caramelization, and then just a good amount of that chimichurri on top. Again, really simple. Just the grilled ingredients.
And the great thing about tofu is that it actually is the closest to meats when it comes to the quality of the protein. It has all the essential amino acids, so it's a great choice.
So that's it.
I think you want to see us.
Sure.
Okay. Beautiful.